Okay, so I'm going to discuss my experience with the School of Stardom interface. Overall, I wasn't a huge fan. Seriously, overall, I think there was just some unnecessary features that made me question if this special app was really necessary to deliver this sort of content. The mood sliders are probably one of my biggest pet peeve. It made for a really inconsistent experience, but at the same time, sometimes it made for a too consistent experience, if that made sense. Because depending on where the settings were for the mood, it would completely change the content sometimes. So if I wanted to discuss an episode with a friend, or even just watching the episodes in order, there's something mentioned in one setting that's never mentioned again, and it's kind of hard to determine what's actually happening. But in addition to that, sometimes depending on the mood settings, there's really no difference, so that really shows that feature really isn't necessary. Like, if you want to show a funny side of a character, show it. Don't change the settings and change what happens in the episode to, make a whole other alternate universe. I just didn't like it. And the length sliders, I felt those are also unnecessary because the episodes are short enough as it is, and there's really not a big difference between the medium length and the long length. And there's too much of a difference when you put it on the short version. It's just so chopped up that you can't even tell what's happening. And beyond that, I had problems with freezing when I tried to adjust the settings, and sometimes I would adjust the setting and the episode would jump to another part of the episode, and so I wouldn't even get the whole experience, and I couldn't drag the slider for the playback position. I couldn't drag that, and so I'd have to refresh the page just to change the settings and watch a different version of the episode, which I found annoying. And also it was really time consuming because I felt obligated to watch all the versions of the episode to get the full story, and even then it wasn't really the full story. It was 3 different stories sometimes. On top of that, freezing also happened when I tried to switch between the characters that I was following. And sometimes when I switched between the characters, it would just reload the character I was already on, which was annoying, but that was just a minor thing. But something major that bothered me was that you can only follow 2 characters before you have to pay, which I guess is not a big deal, but it just adds to that feeling that you're not getting the full story. And also beyond that, that's another thing that I hated, was having to wait 6 hours between each episodes, especially because each episode is so short and you're only allowed to follow 2 characters. It's it just wasn't worth it to me to go through all these features and settings and possibly having the program crash just to get 2 minutes sometimes. Sometimes it was the shortest 2 minutes on the longest setting for just 2 of the characters. But overall, the app was okay. I just don't know if it's necessary to distribute this sort of content, because we have YouTube, we have Facebook, those tools are there, and in my opinion this app adds nothing really. It could be fun with some improvements, but more as a game, not really as a delivery system for a TV show made for consumption. It's more of an interactive thing, but I don't think it's interactive in a way that people want to interact with their TV shows. When I think of the reason why online television became so popular is because people could watch what they want when they wanted, and that just means accessing the TV shows that you like whenever you want. It doesn't mean, oh, I'm in the mood for something funny with this character, and that's just, if people wanted to do that, they could just create their own content, I feel like. But I really didn't mind the app, I just didn't think it was necessary. But I kind of do like Emma a little bit when she's happy, and although she did get a little weird towards the end, but I could definitely see myself getting into the show if it wasn't so hard to navigate the app. So in my opinion, I would feel more moved to watch this if it was on YouTube or something, and I could just watch it all the way through and watch all the characters and not have to wait 6 hours to watch 3 different versions of the same show. So those are my thoughts, and I just hope that I can see the app develop a little more and maybe get me a little bit more into it, because I definitely think the characters and the potential for the show is strong. Even though it doesn't really have a direction right now, I feel like it could grow into something that I'd enjoy, so.